is Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. I'm Juliet the daughter.
And I'm Kevin, the super dad.
Sure, you got the
Super Bowl
Patriots gear
dad.
on. Yeah, in case you haven't figured out, we live in New England, so go Pats. But football aside, we're not here to talk about sports, we're here to talk about music. And this week, we are talking about Harold Melvin, who I thought for the longest time was Harold Melvin, and the Bluenotes with Teddy Pendergrass. So, Dad, what do we need to know?
We need to know that Harold Melvin was born June 25th, 1939 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Not Harold Melvin.
Right. As a teen, he would sing on street corners with friends. At the time, they called themselves the Charlemagnes, but by 1956, when they released their first single, If You Love Me, for Josie Records, they were known as the Bluenotes. They would record for various labels, releasing singles on Arctic, Checker, Uni, and Lamba. Members came and went in the 1960s, and at first Harold was the lead vocalist, songwriter, arranger, and choreographer. In 1969, the Bluenotes performed with the Cadillacs, not they often call me Speedo Cadillacs from the 50s, but different Cadillacs.
Mm-hmm.
Their drummer was one Teddy Pendergrass, born March 26, 1950 in Kingstree, South Carolina.
I was so surprised when I learned he was their drummer first.
Well, Harold convinced Teddy to leave the Cadillacs and come play drums for the Bluenotes. During one performance, Teddy began singing along, and Harold was impressed by his voice.
Yeah, I bet.
When the Bluenotes lead vocalist John Atkins left in 1970, Harold made Teddy the lead singer. The group signed with Kenny Gamble and Levon Huff's Philadelphia International label.
Now, did Teddy still drum?
No, he was just all singing.
Okay. Just curious.
The lineup was now Harold, Teddy, Lloyd Parks, Bernie Wilson, and Larry Brown. Gamble and Huff produced the group as well as writing some of their songs. Philadelphia's in-house band, MFSB, played on all the tracks. Now, MFSB was a pool of 30 musicians. Now, MFSB officially stood for Mother, Father, Sister, Brother. Also, Mother's Finest Soul Band, and also some dirty words I bet you know.
Oh, yeah.
Which were meant as a compliment when one of the musicians was on fire.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Strings were provided by the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Their biggest top 40 hit was If You Don't Know Me By Now, which went to number 3 in 1972. The Bluenotes recorded 4 albums on the Philadelphia International, which I'm just going to start calling PI label. The first 3 went gold. Their final album, 1975's Wake Up Everybody, went platinum. And then
Trablish. There we go.
Philadelphia International was focusing more on the OJs. Teddy got in an argument with Harold over how much money he earned, and he was tired of people coming up to him calling him Harold.
Oops.
Yeah. And that's why for, I think, the last 2 albums, it was Harold Melvin and the Bluenotes featuring Teddy Pendergrass. Yeah. But Teddy still left the group in 1975. He stayed with PI and had 5 consecutive platinum albums.
Whoa.
Which was a record at the time. He was selling out concerts, and his manager, Shep Gordon, noticed that a huge number of his audience consisted of women.
Oh, yeah.
So Gordon came up with the idea for Teddy to go on tour playing just for female audiences.
Ooh.
And the media had crowned Teddy as the Black Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
But then on March 18th, 1982, while driving his Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit, Teddy was involved in a car crash. His license had been suspended for unpaid parking tickets, and he had also wrecked a Maserati the week before. Mechanical error in the car appeared to be the cause, but there's also the theory/conspiracy that the brakes had been tampered with.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Teddy had a spinal cord injury and was paralyzed from the waist down. He did physical therapy and signed with Asylum Records. His 1984 album, Love Language, contained the ballad Hold Me, which featured one singer named Whitney Houston. It was her first release as a professional artist.
Wow.
The song hit the top 10 on the R&B and the AC charts, which stands for Adult Contemporary.
Mm-hmm.
On July 13th, 1985, he made a return to the stage at Live Aid in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
In 1988, Teddy got his first #1 R&B hit in over a decade with Joy. He kept on recording in the 90s. In 1996, he was part of the touring company for the gospel musical Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God. In 2006, he announced his retirement from the business. However, he did come back to perform in 2007 in Teddy 25, a celebration of life, hope, and possibilities, which on one hand, marked the 25th anniversary of Teddy's car accident, but on the other, it raised money for his charity, the Teddy Pendergrass Alliance.
Is it still active?
I don't know.
Huh, okay.
In 2009, Teddy underwent successful surgery for colon cancer. A few weeks later, he had to return to the hospital with respiratory issues. And on January 2010, Teddy died of respiratory failure. He was 59 years old.
Oh my God.
As for Harold Melvin, he replaced Teddy with David Ebo. The Bluenotes left Philadelphia International and signed with ABC Records. There'd be more personnel changes, and Harold Melvin and the Bluenotes would record their final album, All Things Happen in Time, for MCA Records in 1981. Now, in 1988, Neil Young put out his partial R&B album, This Note's for You, credited to Neil Young and the Bluenotes.
Uh-oh.
Where Bluenotes was just all one word. Harold took legal action,
Yeah.
and Neil had to change the name of his touring band to 10 Men Working. Harold died on March 24th, 1997, of a stroke.
Ooh.
Harold Melvin and the Bluenotes have been eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since 1990.
Do you think they should get in?
I think so, based on their first single coming out in 1965. Now, if we go by major label releases, then they've been eligible since 1997. Teddy Pendergrass, as a solo artist, has been eligible since 2000.
I think you should get in.
Now, as for me, I remember hearing their songs on the radio as a kid. I did buy their collector's item best of on CD years later, but it was only 8 songs. Years later, I got their super hits quickie budget best of, but the songs were just like the radio edits. Maybe about 5 years ago or so, I found the essential Harold Melvin and the Bluenotes featuring Teddy Pendergrass at the Weaver Library. 15 songs, all full-length versions. I downloaded it and then eventually bought my own copy. The Essential came out in 2004. The booklet has a decent essay and photos of the group members along with their names, which was very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump right into it.
First track, Wake Up Everybody. Those opening notes in the piano put me at ease. I think it's because to me it sounded like a piano riff lifted out of Mr. Rogers. You can hear it, right?
A little.
Shout out to the piano player, they are well trained. And the strings came in as Teddy sang and made it even more lush. This album is a nice transition after Jimmy Cliff because this is also a song calling for change. The change they want to see is consciousness, not being asleep to the world's problems and taking small steps to make change. From the teachers to the healers to the builders, aka the working class. One might say it's class consciousness. And it also starts with educating the youth. Around the 3 to 4 minute mark, the song becomes more of a spiritual, as verses are repeated, and Teddy gives the song more grit with his voice. At one point, there's a vocal hat tip to James Brown as he sings Get Up. Very good song.
This is obviously from the Wake Up Everybody album. It was written by Gene McFadden, John Whitehead, and Victor Karstafen, which I hope I pronounced that right. Teddy wants to wake up everybody to make the world better. Teachers need to teach a new way. Doctors need to make the old people well. Builders need to build a new land. Teddy knows we can do this if we all lend a hand. It's just that simple. He needs help because he can't do this all by himself. And yeah, he spends the middle section preaching, calling out pushers to stop pushing dope. Preachers need to teach the truth, and politicians stop lying. And the lyrics are, well, I couldn't think of a better word than naive.
Oh.
Well, I mean, but because there's so many songs like that, like, hey, everybody, if we all get together, things will be great.
Yeah, but can't we hope?
Well,
Come on.
yeah, I mean, I'm not squashing that. But the thing is, Teddy truly believes every single word that he's singing.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Are you going to tell him no?
No, I'm not.
No, not either.
I'm not. Like, it's kind of like if every person in the world heard this song, things would automatically be better. And it kind of reminded me of Charlie Chaplin's speech at the end of The Great Dictator.
Yeah, which, to quote my favorite YouTube comment on that video, you know it was serious when the man who was always silent had something to say.
Yep, because he just went all out and truly believing that his words would change the world, which unfortunately they did not.
Wish they did.
Now, musically, it starts off with like the only thing I could call it was like swirling instruments. The
Yeah,
way
I
that
get
they
what you
come
mean.
in.
Yeah.
Mostly keyboards, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's to represent people waking up, like they're just coming out of
A slumber?
the slumber, yeah. But they also appear at the end as if everyone's just kind of going back to sleep.
We're all tired. Teddy yelled at us too much, so we're all tired. We're
Yeah.
going back to sleep.
And even though this is credited to Harold Melvin in the Bluenotes, it's really, if you think about it, a solo Teddy Pendergrass performance.
It really is, which
Yeah.
we'll see more of.
Yeah, his voice is double tracked in some spots, and he sings the backgrounds as well. And 50 years after Wake Up Everybody was released, it's still as relevant today.
Yep. Next track, Don't Leave Me This Way. Even with the instruments playing at a soft dynamic, a more serious tone is struck. And as soon as Teddy started humming, I was a goner. I want to see this song used in a Shakespeare play set in the 70s. Whichever play is most applicable, take your pick. Teddy doesn't even have to sing all that much, and I'm already taking him back. I think I've heard this song before. Either that or something very similar to it that used the same notes Teddy uses to sing the title of this song, 50-50 Shot. I think my favorite part of Teddy's vocal performance is how he makes those three eyes sound like seething cries of pain, which suits the point of the song. Again, another dance track that could also be interpreted as a spiritual, with how there's a common refrain being sung over and over. And I don't know if this was intentional or not, but it's my headcanon that as Teddy gets echoey, I like to think that's his memory haunting the woman who realized, to paraphrase Joe Bluth, she made a huge mistake.
Okay, so this is also from Wake Up Everybody. This is written by Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff, and Carrie Gilbert. And this is the original version, which I never knew until I got this collection.
Oh, because you heard the other ladies first?
Thelma Houston, yeah.
Hers was interesting because I never had been, like, I'm jamming out, but I'm like, I am so sad right now. And yet my body is moving, even though I am sad. This is a weird feeling.
Yeah.
But it works.
It does.
Somehow it works.
Yep.
You're dancing while sad out of your mind.
I mean, oddly, this was never released as a single. However, it did go to number 3 on the Billboard Hot Disco Singles chart.
Okay.
Because it was the 70s.
Who was number 1? Probably Donna.
Maybe. Thelma Houston covered it at the end of 1976, and her version hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in April 1977. And Thelma also won a Grammy in 1978 for Best R&B Vocal Performance Female.
Yay.
As for Teddy, he's begging, don't leave him this way. He won't survive. His heart is full of love, all for you. 'Cause you wouldn't leave Teddy Bear now, would you?
No!
Come on.
No!
Come on. Okay. Musically, it just builds and builds until it gets to the chorus. And then it always calms down when it's time for the verses, but then you get that building up again. So kind of get the idea.
I'm sorry, I got a sidetrack. You calling him Teddy Bear? Now I want there to be a Build-A-Bear, but it's Teddy Pendergrass with his mic and his little fro. I'd buy it.
Someone could make that happen.
Please, somebody make it happen.
All I can think of now is you remind me of Disco Bear from Happy Tree Friends.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Disco Bear. Anyway, keep going.
Okay. During the break, Teddy's testifying about how your love is so important to him. Important, he stresses.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the Bluenotes backing him up singing, please, please don't go, over and over and over. But that's okay. And I gotta say, Thelma's version is great. And since I heard hers first, and heard it a lot as a kid, that's my go-to version. One of the great one-hit wonders.
Next track, The Love I Lost. Side note, I like the cover art that was the thumbnail for the video I found on YouTube. It's from an album where there's a very nice colored-in sketch of the band members in their suits. It's very nice and very 70s. And based on the order these tracks go, you could look at this as a follow-up to the previous track. And I like how we get some more backup singers in here. That way, everyone gets a turn.
Those
Yay!
Bluenotes, they're Bluenoting.
Teddy sings that they had good times, but one day something went wrong and they didn't get along. Which I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second. Very rarely is it just one day everything was suddenly different. More so, it's little things built up over time until one day it causes the dynamic to shift. And generally, the person who didn't see it coming is either the red flag or chose to ignore the red flags and not put in the work. To paraphrase BoJack, which I quote all the time, when you look at the world through rose-tinted glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. Back to the song. What's also cute is how it's structured with Teddy and the other guys, is you could interpret this as Teddy's homies are helping him get through this by singing this song with him and being there for him vocally too, which is a very sweet idea. This was the first song I started to mentally check out with as it went on, though, because it kept going.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is from Black and Blue. It was written by Gamble and Huff, and this was originally intended as a ballad. And it's considered an early example of disco thanks to drummer Earl Young's 4-on-the-floor beat, which means that the bass drum is hit on every beat. Mm-hmm. And he also made extensive use of the hi-hat. which was a big development back then.
Oh.
Teddy sings about the plans and hopes he had, but something went wrong and he and she couldn't get along. And it was split into two parts on the 45, and also for the radio, everyone just played part one, which is the first 3.5 minutes of Teddy and the Bluenotes singing the song. Part two starts with Teddy testifying about how it was a good love, a sweet love, and come back home, baby. And the Bluenotes sing, I lost it. Sorry I lost it. Probably about 20, 30, 87 times. I lost count. Some people only need part one, but being me, I need both parts because you get to stay on the dance floor just a little bit longer.
Next track, You Know How to Make Me Feel So Good, featuring Sharon Page. Those background vocals feel like a chant and an ode to love and put me at ease. 1.5 minutes in, and the combination of vocals was already heaven on the ears. Teddy and Sharon have the vocal synergy with the sounds of their voices any singer's duetting would kill for. Is this song about lovemaking and arousal? Yes. But is it also about the inner peace you feel with the right person? Also yes. It's about how good it feels with the right person because everything aligns in the right way. And guess what? The song lives up to the title because it makes you feel good, too. I was smiling from ear to ear. Also, such a great song to unwind to. Even with the spoken word, I blushed and grinned.
Yeah, this is also from Wake Up Everybody, and it was written by Gamble and Huff, and it's definitely a Gonna Get On tune, and an excellent one at that. Sharon sings much of the lead on this song. Teddy chimes in here and there, and that third voice that you hear is Harold Melvin himself. Oh, yeah, and many babies were made that night.
Oh, I'm sure. Next track, If You Don't Know Me By Now. I knew from the strings this was going to be a sad one. We're not going to feel so good anymore. Now, this song isn't really sad. It's about standing your ground. Teddy is saying, listen, we're not going to be perfect. I'm going to screw up and get home late on occasion. We might argue a little bit and get in a mood. But at the end of the day, those are blips. What matters at the end of the day is I love you. And if you don't know that by now, then what's the point of us being together? The way I look at it is Teddy's partner has been burned by shitty men in the past, and he has to reassure her that he's not like those guys. If you don't know me by now, know that I love you, and that's all that matters. And while it's good Teddy is there to reassure, the partner needs to do the hard work of the healing. They'll be okay if they do that. Important takeaway for people nursing wounds from the past.
This is from I Miss You. It was written by Gamble and Huff, and they originally wrote this for LaBelle, which at the time was Patti LaBelle, Nona Hendrix, and Sarah Dash. They never recorded it, but Patti eventually made it a part of her concert repertoire.
Okay.
If You Don't Know Me By Now was on the Bluenotes PI debut, I Miss You. Teddy's on lead, but the background vocals are by Gamble and Huff, Carl Helm, and Bunny Sigler.
Oh.
It's kind of Bluenotes-less for some reason. And it just kind of comes down to Teddy tells his woman, if she doesn't know him by now, she will never, ever know him. No, she won't.
Spock.
Yes. Simply Red did the cover in 1989 that went to #1 and won Gamble and Huff a Grammy for Best R&B Song. It was good, but no one's going to top Teddy. No, you just can't.
Not going to happen. Next track, Bad Luck. This is the most upbeat song about getting screwed by life I've ever heard. Guy's got debt collectors coming after him, woman walks out, and he's about to lose his home. As Teddy sings, well, law of averages, pendulum swinging the other way, he's got, well, bad luck. I gotta caveat that, though. I think people find comfort in this song because it absolves them of any responsibility. Oh, my actions didn't cause these things. It's just bad luck. Which, to be fair, sometimes happens because life likes to kick you around all the time, even when things are going right. But maybe the debt was what made the woman leave and made you lose your home? Food for thought. At one point, Teddy even tells you what vices you need to give up to get your life back on track. Still, maybe the point of the song is to ease your mood and make you realize, I'm in a slump, but eventually everything will turn out all right again. So listen to this song to feel better, but don't get delusional.
This is from To Be True, which was the first album to have the credit featuring Theodore Pendergrass on the cover. It was written by McFadden, Whitehead, and Karstoffen. You say you're downhearted, confused, losing out on everything. You know what you got?
What?
You know what you got?
What?
See the title.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's even happened to Teddy. Law of averages plainly states that chances go around. Now Teddy has to cut down on smoking and cut down on drinking just to be able to afford a morning paper. He takes it home and sees the President of the United States was going to give it up. Basically resign. It was around Nixon time. And so bad luck can happen to anyone, but up to a point because Teddy sings about how the president left all the poor folks behind, and even though they got another man to take his place, Teddy doesn't think that they'll satisfy the human race. So, hey, we're all out of luck.
Yeah, yay.
Musically, oh my God, this song is just so propulsive. I mean, it's like you said, on one hand, it's wow, things are really bad, but you can like dance your pants off to this thing. Per Wikipedia, Earl Young's hi-hat was so loud it couldn't be quieted in the final mix. This led to influencing disco to include loud hi-hats. Earl's overall drum work on this song just makes it my favorite track. There's a video on YouTube where this guy just drums along to the entire full-length version, and it is just something to see. I just love this song. It's my favorite.
Next track, Where Are All My Friends?
Oh.
Teddy was once on top of the world. Nice car, nice house, nice clothes, and he had lots of friends. Or people he thought were his friends. But now his money's gone, and suddenly the so-called friends disappeared. Then he realizes they only seem to ask for him or how he was doing if they could have some cash. And to paraphrase the Avatar, when they needed him most, they vanished. Or when he needed them most, they vanished. I think my favorite part is the backup singer singing the title as the chorus. I think this song would have been funny if they just let Teddy cuss them out for the rest of the song. Just start laying into him. That would have been great. But it's an important reminder about what true friendship should look like, and it's not this.
This is from To Be True. It was written by McFadden, Whitehead, and Karstoffen. I think I'm getting better with that name. Yeah, when Teddy had money, he had friends. No money, no friends. No true friends, anyway.
Yeah.
And I guess none of them were true. I kind of look at this song as an update of the very old song, Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. Bessie Smith had the most famous version, and it was so famous that nobody recorded it for a generation because they thought it was just untouchable.
Yeah.
But this is like another one of those songs where it's like, yeah, things are really bad for Teddy, but, you can strut your stuff to this.
Next track, I'm Weak for You. I love those harmonies on the word weak. And hey, look at that. We get to hear other people singing. Yay! Man ended a relationship and knows he needs some distance. However, he sees her on the street one day and it all comes rushing back. At the end, he admits that the reason they ended it was because he hurt her and she hurt him, so it's an addiction. But it doesn't sound like there's any inner torment until Teddy starts singing. He's riding the word anyway. He's riding the musical high of being with her, even as his conscience knows, to quote Bartok, this can only end in tears. But the last 2 to 3 minutes drag because I feel like I got to the point 2 to 3 minutes ago. It just felt like it wouldn't end. Someone put him out of his misery.
Well, I think the thing is, it's like if you were with someone, then the song wouldn't seem as long.
Yeah.
But this is from Black and Blue. It was written by Gamble and Huff and Gilbert. And the title pretty much sums up the lyrical content. Teddy's on vocals on this, but I think it's also Harold as well. I say I think because I did a lot of research and just came up empty, but I went back to You Make Me Feel So Good, and it does sound an awful lot like Harold, so I'm giving them credit for that one. But if anyone out there knows who it was, let us know. And I did lose track of how many times they sing the title. And at almost 7 minutes, many more babies were made.
Next track, Hope That We Can Be Together Soon. Once again, featuring Sharon Page. This goes out to anyone who's ever been in a long-distance relationship. Sharon sounds lovely as always, but side note, this woman doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so someone make her one. Then Teddy comes in, and I instantly smile at the velvet of his voice. If this was a movie, this would be where we'd either get the split screen as they sing, or one person's face sort of fades over the other. You know the effect I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Black and Blue. Nope, excuse me. This is from I Miss You. Sorry about that. No, wait a minute. We're doing Hope We Can Be Together Soon. Sorry. This is from To Be True. See, I got confused because it's like we get like five or six slow songs in a row.
Yeah.
So this is Hope We Can Be Together Soon from To Be True, written by Gamble and Huff. And again, the title sums up the lyrics. And Sharon shares lead vocals with Harold. Okay. And Teddy just comes in for a line or two.
Oh, okay.
I guess Harold was, exercising his dominance.
Nah.
And this is like gonna get it on soon
Mm-hmm.
music. And I love the wah wah guitar at the beginning. As soon as that starts, you kind of know what you're in for.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Next track, I Miss You. Shout out to whoever did those opening vocalizations. That was impressive. And the transition from the opening chimes into those vocalizations takes you by surprise in the best way. They pulled it off really well. This is the first song on the album where we hear someone turning to addiction to get over a broken heart. It doesn't even numb the loneliness, it just accompanies the loneliness. And Teddy is just sitting in his room with his feelings all alone, crying. I mean, he is going through it. But, I mean, think about it, right? If you had a friend who's going through this exact same behavior, you'd try to get them out of the house or at least get some help. Maybe stage an intervention if it really got that bad. But if this is the same guy from Where Are All My Friends, then it makes sense. Then after 3 minutes of vocalizations and singing, we get a spoken word portion where the guy leaves a voicemail on the lady's answering machine. Having Teddy continue to sing in the background, I think works because it's like he's putting on this calm, nonplussed front while his inner turmoil is screaming to get out, and eventually it breaks at the end because he remembers, oh yeah, this was all my fault. But the better news is he's got a job, although I think he's using that OT to avoid being at home alone. Then the knife twisted even more when you realize they had a kid whom he can't see anymore. I feel bad for him in one sense, but on the other, on her end, he probably screwed up really bad and ruined her life by being a bum. Would be interesting to see what a song from her perspective would be like. I think my favorite part of this whole thing were those spoken word parts. Otherwise, I believe this wouldn't work as well and those 8 minutes would really drag.
This is from I Miss You, written by Gamble and Huff. And guess what this song's about? Just guess. Just guess. Anyway, for 8.5 minutes, it's a slow, long jam. Oh, yeah. Teddy's thinking, drinking, crying, and dying because of you, baby.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And I think that's Harold giving the telephone rap, which veers off from Teddy's yearning. And Harold knows he's done wrong, but he's turned it around. Got a job. He's doing the overtime. He swears that he's changed. And, oh, by the way, how's his son? And at that point, I mean, no matter how many times I've heard this song, I'm like, oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about that part. This song and the next two songs make up side one of the I Miss You album.
Next track, Ebony Woman. Whoever Teddy was thinking of as he was singing was the luckiest woman in the world. This is a love letter to black women and black love. He loves her eyes, the hue of her skin, and the texture of her hair. He sees a queen, but also recognizes she's tired from all the shit the world has put her through. Nevertheless, he's amazed at how she navigates it while looking as beautiful as she does. And the instruments also heighten the romance with the saxophone and opening piano lick. Beautiful track, and I hope whoever was proposed to with this song was very happy. I'm sure it's been hundreds, nay, thousands.
This is from I Miss You. It was written by Morris Bailey Jr. And Harold, or at least I think it's Harold, sings the praises of his Ebony Woman. Teddy steps in here and there to show how it's really
done.
How it's really done. I think it's an okay song. I never thought it was the strongest song on the collection, but I've never skipped over it.
Oh, I love it. Next track. Yesterday, I Had the Blues.
And today?
No, not today. I'm fine.
Okay.
Go Pats. Anyway. We get another opening piano lick, but this time what immediately follows is the twang of a blues guitar. Teddy had the blues the other day, but not anymore. The woman of his dreams walked in, and he's crawling out of that sad, sad hole. Now, there's still some sadness in the music, because he's not quite fully recovered yet, but he's so full of love and gratitude. It's like when you're really going through it, but your partner's next to you, and while you still feel like shit, you're so grateful that your partner is there because you don't have to go through it alone. Vocally, what I loved most is how Teddy repeated the first syllable of the word lonely. It tickled me to hear. And then at the 5-minute mark, I'm marveling at him again, but it's for the pure grit in his voice that he's able to sustain while sounding like he's down on his knees. If I had a voice like that, I'd fight for recognition on the CD cover too.
This is from I Miss You. It was written by Gamble and Huff. And yesterday, Teddy had the blues, but then you came along, baby. Oh, yeah. And now he's just got everything. And yeah, it's 7.5 minutes or so, but the track just does not feel that long at all. I mean, you just sucked in, just listen to the whole.
Sometimes it does to me.
To the whole drama. Yeah, there are a few here and there.
Next track, Satisfaction Guaranteed or Take Your Love Back. That opening grunt made me go, ooh. If Teddy Pendergrass is trying to tempt this woman into leaving her man or committing adultery, I'm 99.99% sure it would work. The lyrics by themselves are seductive enough. You could also do this as an interpretation of this song to be more literal and sung from the point of view of a male sex worker, because I think that'd be interesting to hear too.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be Take Your Money Back?
Oh, true. Good point. But I'd still like to hear that version of the song.
Okay. This is from Black and Blue and was written by Gamble and Huff. And Teddy's going to give you something good. But you don't have to believe him. He's going to let his actions speak for him.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
He's going to guarantee his loving. That's how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be nervous, because Teddy Bear is going to give the best of service.
I'm just picturing
as he says in the song.
Teddy Bear.
And musically, this is a hard-charging dance song, which after 5 slow songs in a row, I really needed this. And yeah, Teddy really means those uhs.
Yeah.
At least, yeah,
He does it better than you.
Yes,
Ted.
and I think anyone does it better than I do.
Next track, Tell the World How I Feel About You, Baby. Do you ever feel weird when a singer tells you to clap to the song, but you're listening to it all alone? I mean, I don't feel weird, but do you feel weird about it?
Yeah, I don't clap.
I like how Teddy says their love is sweet and mellow, because that's the thing. Love should be mellow. Any drama from the outside world should be from the outside world, not from any internal toxicity, which is why in Scandal, Olivia Pope's deep, painful love monologue is such bullshit. And I agree with Norm Lewis. That's not love. You need help. Anything that is painful, difficult, or devastating isn't love. This is what it should be. Teddy's singing is intense, but intense with joy and not pain. Any sacrifices he wants to make are his choice to make, not anything he's being forced to do against his will. Let's romanticize love that puts you at peace more. And also, we get just Teddy and the drums for a few seconds, which was a change of sound that I didn't mind. Almost like they were going to do a drum solo for a bit.
Mm-hmm. This is from Wake Up Everybody. It was written by McFadden, Whitehead, and Karstoffen. Now, with a title like that, in the lyrics, you think it would be a slow song, but it's not. It's a full-on dance floor stomp, and it's great. Mm-hmm. And I did watch that clip that you sent me, which I thought was really interesting. And I thought maybe she's kind of mixing it up with, I want like excitement in my life. Either that, or it was kind of like trying to keep her distance from like experiencing the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
That was very interesting.
She'd been through, I think, was that before or after she was kidnapped? I can't remember.
I don't know, but I forgot about that show. That was a good show.
It was. Oh, did you watch all of it?
Most of it. I don't know what happened.
You watched Scandal? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Where'd you leave off?
I can't remember. I probably have to watch the whole thing again.
Wow. Okay. I'm surprised.
Hey, Kerry Washington raises eyebrows, lowers eyebrows, raises eyebrows, lowers eyebrows.
Yeah. And that's right. You do like Shonda Rhimes writing. I keep forgetting that. Final track. Keep on Loving You.
Not the REO Speedwagon version, listeners.
I like the key the horns were in, but not the rest of the song, if that makes sense. So this song is about sexual attraction, but it's very playful and giddy, like he's riding a happy high. Again, happy and healthy. It's not sex fueled by hate or forbidden fruit. Different kind of happiness than is typically sung about. So of course he makes a declaration, and it is very sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is from Wake Up Everybody, written by McFadden, Whitehead, and Karstoffen. And yeah, the title pretty much says it all. And again, you'd expect with a title like that it's going to be a slow song, but no. Not the flat-out stomp like Tell the World How I Feel About You, Baby. But you can still move to it nonetheless.
All right, overall, I get why people thought Teddy must be Harold. Surely the guy who sings like that is the main guy in the title, right? Nope. I think I love the duets. No, I know. I love the duets with Sharon the most. Those are beautiful. I think for me, this is good historical background context for Teddy Pendergrass's career as a singer. I don't know how I feel about Harold Melvin and the Bluenotes, but I know for sure I love Teddy and his voice, and what a beautiful man. He's so beautiful. When he smiles, I start crying.
Oh, gee.
I can't help it.
So as I say, if you like 70s soul, then you need to check this out. If you love 70s soul, then you've probably checked this out. You probably have checked this out already. Mm-hmm. And they just do not make music like this anymore. I remember reading somewhere, I think it might have been Jay-Z, and I'm going to paraphrase this because he was listening to this stuff and he was like, wow, we're using real orchestras. I'm like, well, yeah, because they didn't have samplers or anything back then.
To be fair, though, I think if you're Jay-Z and you're married to Beyonce, you could buy an orchestra for however much money you wanted.
Yeah, you
with the money
could.
they have. All right, as always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Because remember, the more you interact with YouTube video, the greater chance we have of appearing on the YouTube homepage. If you follow me on social media, I post the episodes there. If you're friends with Dad, tell him what you want to listen to, and he can email you an episode right to your inbox. As always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. We'll be back next time with another album to nitpick and gripe about just in time for Dad's birthday. Dad, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Yes, you've been listening to My Dad Listens to This, featuring Teddy Pendergrass.
Rest in peace, Teddy.